Hi all, today we will discuss about how to create a resume for the Java developer or resume for fresher and experience. So anyone can use this format and create as per your requirement. This is the common format which I am using for the resume. Inside that, if you want, you can modify that is modify your year of experience, name, email ID, address, and your college details number and the experience related for project, what project and duration you are working for that. So suppose this is the format which I am using for the Java development or Java developer resume for fresher and experience. So what I am using here, on the first phase on heading, on top of, we mention like my name is Amarjit Kumar. Here this address, like whatever address you want in Bangalore or maybe Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, others. So address and then email ID which I have mentioned. You can address you can mention through this short form also, or maybe some describe address also. It depends on you. So name, address, and then email. So email, whatever the email, your communication email for this jobs related or naukri.com related things that you have to mention, and mobile number which will be reachable. And the second thing we have mentioned career summary. So career summary will be some of the short career summary which you can mention. Either we mention this one as this is a common career summary we are used, like a dynamic and committed development as a proper commit to this agreed deadline and within the like this. So like that you can use this career summary whatever we have, or else you can add also from your side whatever you have that you can add. Others is a career summary will be happen like 3 to 4 line only, not more than of that. And then second is experience summary. Career summary related for your career, what you are doing, what you have done, just for the summary. Experience in that, what are the experience you have for the technology based. So here, like suppose I have 7 years of experience. So what I have mentioned, having 7 years of experience for good development experience and developing web based application. Either you can use web based, mobile based, or any others application, and by using which type of technology like Java, Spring Boot, Microservices, Restful Web Services, Kafka, WebLogic, WebFlux, Spring Cloud, and Spring Data. So as per your requirement, you can modify this technology stack. So this is a common which is used for the Java developer, either fresher or experience. If you want, you can modify the changes. Here you can mention, if you are fresher, just remove the experience, and then what we have apart after that, the sum of the brief also you have to include here, worked and grow the Java technology, worked with microservices, Spring Boot, whatever you have mentioned here, that you can define worked or working or expertise in this technology, and some of the risk experience with this database design, development, and all. And after that also, if you have debugging, bug fixings and all, that also you have to mention. So 3 to 4 line that you have to mention here. After the technology applications, you can add this point also, like 3 to 4 point. So this is the second thing. First thing, you have add this address, name, mobile number, email. Second is a career opportunity, like career summary you can mention. Others is a experience summary. In that experience summary, 3 to 4 line you have to mention this word also: expertise, worked in, rich experience, proficiency, and all, like that. Then you have to mention your qualification. So qualification, either the latest qualification, either you have BTech, MTech, and others, you have to mention this degree, year, university, a specification and percentage. If you want, you can use, else you can remove the percentage. So this is the related for the qualification. And then you can mention the professional experience. So in the professional experience, you have to write it as a increasing order or decreasing order. If you are fresher, you move this experience. If you have some internship training, you can include in that, else you can remove. But if you are experienced, then you can add this. And while if you are adding, you have more than maybe you worked on more than 2-3 project or 2-3 company. So based on the company or project, you can make it as a ascending or descending order. So like here we have like descending order. So on the top company we have written first here, and then second top, third last top, fourth last top, like that. So either ascending or descending, you can describe your company and project detail. That is called professional experience. So in that professional experience, have a project. So suppose the last project which I worked is project 6. So the project 6 is related for health insurance and web development. The client was Trans-America Offshore Development. So that I have mentioned. The project name is first project, like the last project, which is I worked on the last company in this project 6. The project name, client, Trans-America Offshore Development, offshore and onshore. Like suppose if you are working with this client side there, then you have to mention on site. If you are working as a ODC in your company, that is called offshore. So Trans-America, I'm working for the offshore development in Bangalore. And then role, whatever the role you have in the senior associate technology, I'm working for this current project role. And period, from where till where to where I'm working, from which year to till date I'm working for this project. And which company, this is the parent company, that is project Trans-America was the client, but here parent company is IBM Bangalore. And the descriptions like a Spring Boot microservice web development I am doing for this project. This project is related for health insurance web application based on Spring Boot and microservices. And also you can mention some brief descriptions related for your project, like about project. Only 3 to 4 line, not more than of that. What is this project? What is required for that? How to implement, and what are the implementations and descriptions are there. That type of related you can mention here, because this is a health insurance platform. So how health insurance is working, how users can log in, and how they can access the details through this. So that you can mention about the project. Just overview with the 3 to 4 line, not more than of that. And after that you can add the responsibility. Like in this project, they understand the client name, project name, your role, period, parent company descriptions, and about the project. After that you can mention the responsibility. So what type of responsibility you have in this project? Working with a Spring Boot microservice architecture, correct. Enable Swagger, like suppose if you have added some in Swagger configurations, enable and all, accessing the documentations and all, actuators, monitoring, health check logs, applications, that you can mention. Anyone can mention. If you have a fresher, if you have done some experience or internship, then you can mention that. If you are experienced, that also depends on the requirement. You can modify the changes. For build the application using dev, QA, productions, we have multiple environments, so there we can deploy it or may develop the applications. Then some fixing issues and all, customizing new development e-commerce applications, or maybe some this is health insurance, so here you can mention the health insurance applications. You can modify the changes as per this. And after that, microservice, customize the new development based on this like health insurance. So we have to mention here health insurance application based on Java, Spring Boot, microservices. The same things we have mentioned, DevOps, Angular and all, right? like that. The second project which I worked, second project also in the same company, IBM. This second project I worked, the mentioned first second project is First Abu Dhabi Banking Development. Client was First Abu Dhabi Offshore Development. Role is Senior Associate, period, and then parent company. Description about the project related for banking, what type of internet banking, or maybe some core banking, or whatever the project you have, so that you can mention about the project and the responsibility. Again, I have worked because in IBM working from last suppose more than of 2 years, 3 years. So maybe you worked on 3 to 4 projects, so that you can define. If you want, you can add one project, two project, or more than that. So depends on, better you can create a 2 3 page of resume. If you want, you can add more than of that. Depends on the experience, freshers and all. And this is the fourth project which I worked. Like suppose is a e-commerce web development. Safeway, client, role, period, component, company description about the project and responsibility. So Safeway is also e-commerce based applications which is developed on a Spring Boot microservices, and about the project and then responsibility. Then I worked on Infosys before. So in Infosys, what type of project I worked? So this is the telecom order provisional workflow I worked. Infosys the period, and then when I worked on this project, and then senior role, and then description about the project and responsibility. Then others, when I worked on banking applications, so banking application of the project, which company, period, and role, description about the project, responsibility, and then, so these all are the common. So total I worked on 6 projects. So I have mentioned from this first company to the current company, and total how many projects? 6 project I worked. If you worked on 2 project, you can mention 2 project, 1 project, or 2 company, you can mention the 2 company and project detail. And after that, this is the professional highlight. So professional highlight is, you can mention what type of highlight things you have. The same we have, like having 7 years, or maybe if you have 7.6 years, then you can mention 7.6 years. If you have 3 years, then you can mention 6 years. If you have 3 years, you can mention 3 years, like that. 3.6 years, whatever you have, you can modify this format. Having around 7 years of experience in developing web applications using Java 8, Spring Boot, Microservices, Spring Restful Web Services, Kafka, Webflux, and Cloud. So this is the related for backend technical stack. Also, if you have some of the front end technical stack, or maybe backend database related, or some of the cloud related, or maybe some of the messaging, that also you can mention. Hands-on experience in Spring Boot, MongoDB, Kafka, Azure Cloud, Angular, and Angular or Angular 9, whatever, that you can mention. And then suppose if you have AWS experience, then also you can mention AWS Angular and AWS experience, like that. Amazon AWS. Then also you have to mention the core things, like expertise in core Java. So what type of module you expertise, like oops concept, collection, multi-threading, exception handling, like that. So whatever the common topic of you expertise in, that you have to mention there. You can modify it as per your requirement, but this is the common which everyone can use, either fresher, experience, and all. And then excellent worked in SQL, like whatever the SQL things is there, constant, operator, function, procedures, store procedures, and all. Multiple things they will ask, either SQL, PL/SQL, and all, that you have mentioned that. Either they mention like grouping, subquery, and all. And then able to work with a Spring Boot microservices, Spring Cloud component. This, so and the knowledge about what are the tools, or any what are the tools, or any DevOps tools, or development tool like Git, using GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, PCF, Kafka, AWS, Mongo, DB, JFrog, Twitter, Swagger, UI, ELK. So whatever the technology stack tools you have as per the requirement, suppose Angular, DevOps, database, backend, Kafka related tools, you can mention here. So in professional experience, at least 3 to 5 to 7 word of line, 5 to 7 line you can mention as a highlighted. And then last line will have a technical skill. So maybe some of the recruiters or maybe company will seek only technical skills. Either this technical skill is valid or not. If candidate have, then they will read all those descriptions, else they will reject the resume. So here we have to mention technical skills. So like Spring Boot, Microservice, Kafka, Cloud, data flow, Angular, collection, Mongo, Hibernate, Java, JSON, design pattern, Restful service, caching, MySQL, Oracle, Maven, Spring MVC, Spring annotation, Eclipse, IDE also I have mentioned, version control system, AWS, Core Java, Postman, Visual Studio, Azure Cloud, Jenkins, Kafka, STL. So they will check these all of the content or maybe technical skills they have. So these you have to mention as per your knowledge of a skill, technical skill. And then the last line you have to mention the detail, professional detail or personal detail. Like personal details we have like date of birth, gender, nationality. If you want you can use, else you can remove that also. This is not a mandatory thing. So mandatory thing is just a first of top resume, top head of the resume, in that name, where are you from or currently where you are staying, email ID, mobile number. Second is your career summary. So career summary you can add 3 to 4 line as per your own word, or maybe you can Google it or some you can take. Other is experience summary. Experience summary you can modify experience as per your experience whatever, and then skills which is applicable, that, and after that you can add this 4 to 5 line here. Then qualification you can add, if you want you can remove the percentage. Then professional experience. In professional experience you can mention the project name of the client, client name, role, period, parent company name, description about the project and responsibility. And the same thing you have to mention in your introductions also. Like that, whatever the project you work, that you have to mention, and after that you have to mention the professional highlight. So that professional highlight like the same, having with this experience, with this technology, expertise, knowledge, debugging, whatever expertise, excellent, hands-on and all. Then mention some technical skills, and after that professional detail. Like that you can mention. So this resume, if you are following, then maybe you will get some of the best product based service call, even customer based, client based also, product based also, service based also. So depends on that, because as per this related I got many calls, even for Google also I got a call, interview call. See this, even I selected, I got a call from Google itself. So we have an interview on 3rd March, 23rd of March 2023. So this was the first interview, second interview, and third interview date was assigned for me. So I have the same resume I'm using for this, and then I got selected in different, my resume is selected in different organizations like Google, Walmart, Flipkart and others. So if you want, you can use the same. This is the resume. If you want, I can ping me or comment. I'll comment your email ID so that I'll forward this resume for your reference. Thank you. Please subscribe my channel and also let me know what type of video you want, and if you have any suggestion, please let me know, because I'm also trying to improve all those things. If you have any suggestion, please let me know so that I'll improve. Thank you for that. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.